Welcome back. It is January 17th of our 365-day devotional. It is Friday, as I'm assuming most of you know. I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go on vacation, so I'll be doing this in a hotel room. So, don't be shocked by the room change or anything like that. I'm actually doing this earlier. Surprise, surprise. Let's get started. So the title for today is Growing Up in Christ. Instead, speaking the truth in love, you will grow to become in every aspect the mature body of Him who is the head, that is Christ. Ephesians 4:15. If you spent any time around babies or young children, you know they are highly prone to imitate what the adults around them say and do. The same is true in your walk with God. When you first put your faith in Jesus, you are a spiritual infant, and your goal is to imitate God. You do this by first understanding that when you are saved, your identity is changed. You learn to receive the love of Christ into your life, and you grow in learning how to reflect Him to others around you. That's the first paragraph, or kind of like second paragraph, like middle paragraph, is really true. Like, that's true. How you want to do everything you can to do that at first, because what I've had it described to me is that you have that boost of energy, right? And at times it can be really strong, and it's important to hold on to that and keep that really tight, because then you can lose that, and it can be hard to get that back if you sink into these other ideas far enough. I forgot what I got it explained to me, but it had a name that people use. I forgot what it was called. But it keeps saying, since you are a child born of God, loved and saved by Him, you have God's life inside you. You imitate Him by becoming the eyes of God, the ears of God, the hands of God, the feet of God, and the heart of God, to those who are desperate to know Him. Aim to live like Jesus in all you do. That's how you mature and grow up in Christ, who is the head of all things. I think a lot of people that will go into, a faith-lived life will think too highly of themselves and think that they have, it under control. And there's that sense of like grown up in faith, but in reality you're not, and you need to grow up in your faith, or to grow in your faith, because you're still an infant, right? You're still just barely getting started, barely getting on your feet. You don't even know how to walk yet. These are all metaphors for what you're really at. I think looking in the mirror and really taking that hit, realizing you're not as big and strong as you think you are in your faith just yet, like you still have a lot to learn, is a good thing to do. That's what I did, or try to do, and I still try to do that, because I have a lot to learn still. I'm only 16 years old. But the prayer for today is, Jesus, you are the head of all my spiritual growth and maturity. I stay tethered to you today, so that the fruit of your Spirit would grow in me. That's important too. The fruit of the Spirit. I need to go back in the Bible and read that. I need to catch up on that. There's a handful of them. I don't memorize them to the T. I probably should though. But that's also important, to grow into those aspects as well. And maybe you are already, before you get into your faith, like really dive deep into your faith. But once you do dive into your faith even more, it's going to be easier to do that with Christ's help. So, this day, this whole thing today, kind of felt like a way of saying to me, or to the reader, hey, kind of slow down. You're not all big in faith yet. You've got to grow up in your faith and learn about your faith. So that's what I kind of got from it. I think that the theme of putting God first is happening a lot in this book, and I think that's great. You know, calling him the head of our spiritual growth and maturity, literally saying put him first before every day. And I think that's where you start the best. That's where to start. Because at the beginning of every day, that's the first option, the first choice you have. Am I going to put Christ first and live this day to the fullest for him? Or am I not going to put Christ first and live the day to the fullest for me? And really looking at those two choices, we know the right one. But do we always make the right one? So there's a lot of looking in the mirror and reflecting and seeing what choices you make and don't make that happens around here. But all this comes with learning. You know, we all still learn. We all have things to do. Even the people I thought would know the most about Christianity and faith, I mean, there's still things we don't know. I mean, there's things we'll never know. And, you know, some people can accept that, and some people can. But I think there's a point where knowing too much is harmful. I think. I think there's a place where knowing too little is also harmful. So there's a happy median that needs to be found. But I think knowing what you need to know in Christ and what he allows you to know is enough. Because that's what's going to work for his plan. That's what he's telling you to know for his plan to work. I mean, right now, I'm learning a bunch of stuff to get ready for college, taking all the classes I need to take my senior year, next year, and I'm kind of just letting go and taking the signs I need to take and praying about it to know what college I want to go to, what classes I need to take, who to be around, what clubs to join. There was a club that I was in that is a Christian club, but it came to the point where I wasn't being a representative of Christ. I was being a representative for the club. And I didn't really like that. I told them that. They respected it. So I'm not part of that club. But that's another point I want to make, where you need to stand up for your faith. If you feel something's not right for you, maybe it's right for others, you know, then maybe you need to step back a little bit. I took a step back from that club because it got to the point where the club didn't feel like it was putting Christ first. It felt like it was putting the club first. And that whatever I did had to represent the club, which, yes, absolutely, I'm representing the club, but I should be representing the club because of representing Christ. Not I'm representing the club because I'm representing Christ. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Where I'm not saying I am a member of that club. I'm saying I'm a follower of Christ. You should check out this club who also have other followers of Christ. Now, I'm a member of this club, and you should join this club. And we talk about Jesus Christ. You know, where it kind of sounds like we're putting him second. I don't know. There's that point of standing up for your faith and putting God first. And I'll just a little example that I experienced recently. So, that's all I have for today. Everyone stay safe. We stay safe. Everyone pray for the fires. Keep them in your prayers. Firefighters, people affected by the fires. That's all I have. I will see you tomorrow. Yeah. That's all I have for today.